And we are recording.
The darn production.
We just made it out the insane asylum. My silence wouldn't leave my features wide and leave you shook outside yourself like dust. I'm stomping like a kudo by my house. Remember how you did me? I remember this is heavy. The incentive for the check. AB, how I leave it in the field. Level with you niggas. Bring the table chairs. Blow a bed. I'm not settled in my nigga like a magic trick. I make it look real easy, nigga. Hook, line, sinker. Rhythm in my hustle, nigga. That's how a street truck creeping, running with the mob. Classy popping off. Temperon, Benny Siegel now. Knowing damn well that this type of attitude will make my mama frown. Mama smile. We don't make it out alive, so I can't let these niggas slide their eyes over.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Prince OG. Welcome to Five Sticks Podcast. This is the first one. I'm with two handsome gentlemen. We about to get right into it, but first, you can find me on YouTube at number 5 STI triple X's 5 sticks at number 5 STIXXX. You can find me on TikTok, same thing, as well as my alternate TikTok, which is at Prince OG. And hey, you can also find me on Rumble, just in case I get canceled, as I normally do. If you find me on TikTok, I'm most likely trolling and making feminists rage quit, right? But hey, who we have here in the panel? We got Strictly, we got Bari. Strictly, go ahead, tell them who you are. What's going on with you?
Man, what's up? I'm Strictly Outside. You can find me on Instagram at Strictly Outside. You can find me at Strictly Outside. TikTok is Listen Here Buddy, with the I and listen is gonna be a 1.
Okay, perfect. Don't worry, people. If you didn't catch it, we'll put it in the description too as well, so you can find these guys. Go ahead, Bari. Tell them who you are.
Nah, I was good. Hell yeah. What's going on? Nah, I'm Bari. All my socials, HBK_Bari. Same thing. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. I mean, you can find me on Twitter too. All the same thing. But yeah, go ahead. You want to take it away, Sticks?
Perfect.
Start with the first topic.
Yes, sir. So basically, what we're gonna be doing here, gentlemen, we're missing one of our compadres here. He had to do some things, but we're gonna get right into it. Basically, what we're gonna do this first podcast is the whole purpose of my podcast, again, is 5 sticks, right? When you're looking at the stick figure, then you gotta have 5 lines. You got the body, 2 arms, 2 legs, right? So family, fitness, finance, females, and fun. That's what we focus on in this podcast. However, for this particular podcast, the first one, we'll be talking about 5.
Wait, you can say that one more time?
So family, fitness, finance, females, and fun. All right, that's the 5 sticks.
Okay.
That makes a stick figure. That makes a person. That's what we gotta focus on to better ourselves as men in life, right? So each of us, we're gonna have 5 questions that we're gonna be asking the panel or asking each other that we make comments on, and then we're gonna have one controversial topic. So stay tuned for that. Maybe we can't, hopefully, catch JJ if he'll be able to join here shortly. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump us off with the first one. Okay, so obviously, you get on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, if you still use it, right? We'll see all these women, they're getting these BBLs, they're getting these surgeries, they're getting their breast augmentations, they're getting these lip fillers, they're getting these injections, they're getting Botox. So I want to ask you guys, is the pressure to get surgery, is it mostly coming from men or other women?
I would say, I don't know. More so other women, because women have a knack for like looking at each other and being like, "Oh, she looked better than me. Oh, I want this." They got a bunch of celebrities they look up to, and they constantly them or necessarily be just like them. So, within them wanting to be like them or look exactly like them, they go to get these surgeries, and sometimes it come out right. Sometimes, they may end up in a worse position with the surgery than they were without it. It depends. But I do feel like it definitely stems from multiple women, or having multiple women look at different idols and look up to people who have a certain body figure and they want to strive to attain that body figure without having put in.
All right, so were you able to hear him strictly, or was he cutting it out, or was that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. All right, yeah. So I kind of agree with that, right? Go ahead, strictly too. Let's get your point of view.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with Bari. Like what women like like, I get into the streetwear clothing industry. I'm not gonna go with the little dogs or look at who's around me. I'm gonna go compete with the person I know who's at where I want to be at. So like I'll go in and compete with Supreme, and I'll try to incorporate things Supreme is doing. So like a woman that wants to be with somebody who has a healthy income. I'm not gonna say wealthy, but a healthy income. They're gonna look at the women who are publicized in these positions, and those women are the ones who have BBLs, breast augmentation, plastic surgery, all this other stuff. So they're gonna try to fill the shoes. So that's what I'm saying. It's more women.
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely agree with that, right?
Alright, what's that?
So hold on. So the way I look at it, right, and if I'm cutting in now, just let me know, because I know my Wi-Fi is kind of choppy right now. I don't know what's going on. But so basically, as Strictly was saying, a lot of these women, they're looking at these women that either have certain type of money, or they're with a certain type of high figure man, and they want to get that look. They don't want to necessarily go work out for it, or lose the weight, or diet, or cut back on what needs to be done to actually have that figure naturally. They'd rather go get it done, right? And then we also have instances where women would say, "Oh, I do it for me," but it's like, really, you don't really just do it for yourself. At the end of the day, women like to say they're not competing with each other, but they technically are, right? Because they want to look better than the next woman, so that way they can say, "Oh, I look better than her." But why do you want to look better than her? So you can attract that man that you want, right? As we know, women's dating strategy is not so much overt, where they go out and say, "Hey, my name is Ashley," and blah blah blah. They look the best they can, so the guy will in turn come and approach them, right? So I definitely agree with you guys. I would say it's also the pressures on women to go get these surgeries, right? But Strictly, hit us with one of your questions.
Right.
What you got?
Oh, I was gonna cock out in the camera, bro. I'm tripping. What I was about to say. All right, what would y'all say? What does it mean to be a man in today's society?
I feel like one word the one word that's closely associated with men these days is work. Like, you either working on something, working towards something, or working for something. You feel me? Nowadays, if you're not working as a man, you're shamed for it, to be honest with you. If you don't already have the money and you're not working, dog, they gonna throw the whole book at you. Like, you're a bum, you're this, you're that. Well, as a man, you do understand that your value comes from, your social status, one. Exactly, your social status, your money, what you do, how you do it. And as a man, if you're working and you're in a space as to where you're constantly growing, especially the younger you are, and Lars, say for example, you're 19, 18, and you don't have no business knowledge at all, but you want to make money, right? There is a lot of business knowledge on YouTube that you can find, but a lot of people don't know where to start within looking for a certain niche, or making money online in general. Most people usually start out with a regular job. I do believe, though, and it did work for me, as being 19 and growing up to coming into 20, you definitely come up like on a bunch of different things. Like, that transition from being a teenager to a full-blown adult is different, and you're gonna actually end up finding out more stuff about business. You might end up tripping on some business stuff or coming up on some business stuff the more you grow or the older you get, because the older you get, the more money you'll need to make to support the lifestyle you have. You know what I mean? Because the older you get, you're gonna need a car, you're gonna need your own place, you're gonna need certain necessities that are gonna get you through life. And within doing that, you can't rely on your parents too much. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to go, and as a man especially, you're gonna have to get up and get it on your own eventually. So you're gonna having to do things for yourself in the long run anyway. But I felt as though me personally, what helped me transition from that teenage to adult lifestyle was really learning business itself and learning certain aspects of saving money. Not necessarily business, but learning how to save and distribute your money to different places. So one big thing for me was work. When I was 19,
Hey,
I
I
worked.
got real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So like, would you defining today what to be a man is in today's society? I wanted to ask you like, do you think masculinity of what a man is, you know, the traits of what a man is, do you think they have evolved or devolved over time, or
I
dissolved?
recently I recently had this conversation too. I feel like men have devolved. Like they've started going backwards in a sense because everything's become way more sensitive. Like certain things can't be said. Certain men are growing up with different ideals. You know, there's a lot of men that are actually being frowned upon for being masculine. You know, like if, say for example, if you out here and you're talking, all right, say like you see how we talk to each other, like we address each other in a certain manner, a certain way.
Yeah.
Some people, some men would even describe us as being toxically masculine when we just masculine dudes. That's how we are. We're how we're supposed to be. But I feel as though we've devolved in the sense of things becoming more sensitive now. You know, certain dudes, they feel a type of way about everything, and even not in the light of like, you know, even I wouldn't say, because a lot of people would say like sensitivity is related with, you know, homosexuality or people wanting to be of a different sex, which isn't what I'm getting at. I'm getting more at an emotional sensitivity, because you know, you see a lot of young kids, and I'm pretty sure you've grown up in the area too, where like young kids are known for killing people over dumb stuff, like getting mad at simple stuff that could simply be talked out or walked away from. They get mad and they uphold and be over with. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, things have become sensitive in that aspect too. You know, dudes aren't really handling emotions how they should these days, and they taking it out more so on everything around them versus actually dealing with it themselves. Which, yeah, like honestly, how do you feel about men these days not dealing with their emotions in a manner they should? Like, do you believe that men are more so lashing out on everything around them versus actually focusing on what they need to focus on, which is controlling themselves and making money and actually growing?
I feel like, oh, what you was about to say? Sting, my fault, my
Go
fault.
ahead. If he was asking you, go ahead. Is this all still? Hold on. Is this all still under Strictly's first question, right? This is all still under
With the
his first question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's under his question.
Yo, land the plane, boy. Yo,
wait, me?
Nah, Bari.
Go ahead.
I think he had answered the question earlier though. He had said, he defined a man by work. What he lied. But we can come back to it, so you can give your answer. We can come back to that question because I do got to think on it too.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, the way I look at it, right, is as far as what defines a man in today's society. The problem with it is we have so many, you know, I guess you would say SJW, so many people transitioning from female to man because, you know, that's just the type of society we're living in, and people are telling men wrong for them to be what was tradition just 30 years ago, which was normal to be, something like an Andrew Tate, right? But now that's vilified or, looked down on to be that type of person, right? But as Bari said, a man, regardless of whether you're feminized or you're masculine type of man, you're still defined by your work or the value put out to society, right? So even the most feminist or uh, anti-man or women's rights activist type of woman, if she wants a man, she still wants a man who's going to lead, who can provide who has some type of financial stability, and who can be a good father if she does want kids, right? But all of those traits inherently come from being a certain type of masculine man, which most of these women frown upon, but they still want this type of man, right? So that's where you have people like, Andrew Tate or, just in general, people, Myron Gaines, the Fresh for Fit podcast, PBD, those certain people, right? They're still putting out that this is what it is to be a man. This is what you need to be, dude. You need to have money. You need to raise your financial stability. You need to raise your emotional stability. You need to raise just everything about you, fitness, taking care of yourself, to be the proper man in today's society, right? Because at the end of the day, as we know, you can be a feminized man all you want. The bitches still ain't gonna choose you. So they still choosing you.
How that go?
Oh God.
So it's,
How that go?
It's still be
but
bitch ass.
But yeah, with that point being said, it actually brings me to my next question. Do y'all feel like the dating market is rigged for men, or do you feel like it's harder for men to find a good woman in today's dating market?
I would say it's hard to find good on both sides. Because I don't want to just limit it to just one specific gender.
Of course.
But yeah, I said both sides. So
Of course. Yeah, we can say actually, yeah, if I wanted to rephrase the question, do you feel as though like it's hard for people to find good partners in today's dating market? Yeah, quality partners in today's dating market.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I feel like that hasn't changed over time because like the things that are really that hold value in life, like they are harder to get, and a lot of people don't put towards the effort. Like diamonds, you gonna find those within depths. Because pressure forms diamonds, so it has to be compressed by something. It has to be covered up by something. Gold, you have to search for gold. You know what I'm saying? Like fruit, like the fruits of your labor, you actually have to raise the fruits. Like it's quality. Like some people they are fine with just like going out there and getting what's already available or getting what's already there. But as we know, what's already right there and ready for it, it's always better. Like the best, like go to the grocery store and you look at the fruit that's there, and then you go to a farmer's house and you look at the fruit at his house. Two different fruits because one took time to do, and this is just ready, fresh, grown at market, like ready for you. So quality gonna always be rare, in my opinion.
well, yeah. So
Okay,
I
okay,
agree
okay.
on that, right? So I would say it is harder on both sides, but the issue we have here is that, like, and this is where people will say, "Oh, you're being misogynistic or being unfair." I mean, at the end of the day, not every man can be a fucking multimillionaire, right? Not every man can go out there and be $100,000 earner, right? Not every man, can be Andrew Tate. Not every man can be Bill Gates. Not every man can be Elon Musk, right? But you're still your regular average guy who has a decent job, decent in work. He's probably a pipe fitter. Might be a welder. He could be the trash man, right? Making a steady salary throughout the year that's higher than average, right? Higher than the 35,000 to 50,000 on average, right? But normal women don't want these men because they're not quote unquote high value men, or they're not making a certain amount of money, right? And then, as we know, the statistics state that 1 in 3 men are either virgins or haven't had sex in a year. But however, that's not the same for women, right? And so at the end of the day, when we're talking about seeking relationships, most men nowadays, in fact, unless we get passports and go overseas, we have to concede the fact that our wife has been a hoe. You know what I'm saying? So you probably maybe had the OnlyFans. She probably had a whole phase running around with her girls in college, getting ran through. At some point in time, unless you go overseas and get a wife, you can see with the fact that your wife was probably a hoe, right? She probably has an OnlyFans. She was probably selling her underwear somewhere. She was probably selling feet pics to somebody. She was probably doing something, all right? And that's the type of thing that's pushed in today's society. You know, hey.
Man, look. Hey.
So, you know,
I don't know, man.
Hey, it's scary to say.
It's definitely dangerous, though. It's definitely dangerous, though. Because, I mean, how can you really, like, tell? A lot of dudes will say, though, and it is very true, though, that a dude can literally tell, like, based off your personality, how you act, how you are, that, you know, you have a certain body type, or you have a lot of bodies, or you've been around a certain scene. You know, it's easy for a dude to spot stuff like that, because a dude is going to look at, when he's dealing with a woman, that well, let's put it like this. When he first comes across a woman, he's thinking one of two things. He's going to put you into one or two categories based off how you act, who you are, what you do. And what those categories are, the just fuckable category and the person's category. Based off how you act, who you are, and what you do, how you address yourself, how you are around others, all of that will play into the factor of if he's going to put you in that just fucking category, or he's going to put you in that category of, okay, I'm going to take her serious. I genuinely see a future with her. I see qualities of a real mother within her, and I can genuinely see myself with her. Now, my ladies, I'm be real, a lot of y'all tend to mess up at part, like when you first meet a dude, and a lot of girls talk about how they go on dates with guys. One of the first things a dude notices is how you are. Like, are you soft spoken? Are you loud? Are you obnoxious? Are you rude to the waiter? Or are you very respectful? He notices all these things off rip. And all of that, like I said, plays in to factor if you're going to be taken serious, or if y'all are going to continue going on dates, or if he's going to actually put in more effort to get to know you or like you. A lot of problems that I see with girls who go out on dates, they end up messing up when it comes time to actually talk. Like, they'll sit down and have a conversation with the dude that they're talking to, or that they're on a date with, and 9 times out of 10, they may either say something that's out of pocket, and the dude is like, oh, damn, nah, fuck that. I ain't really feeling it no more. You might turn him off towards you, or you may end up not really knowing how to talk and being more on the, like, shy side. You don't really have anything interesting going for yourself, or you don't really have anything going on in life in general. And that may end up turning the dude off to you in the end. But honestly, what turns the dude off to the max is knowing, it's like saying something along the lines of, oh yeah, I used to know, like, pole dance, I used to be a stripper, I used to do something like that. Anything along the lines of that will turn a dude off to you. It'll make him not want to go out with you a second time. Different, like I'm gonna be real. It happens all the time. And girls have this thing where they over talk. Like, instead of saying everything, boil back a little bit and just fill out the vibe, fill out who he is, how he is. Because some dudes will actually, accept stuff like that and go along with it. I'm gonna speak for most dudes, or myself in general, for girls who have been in the line of, like, OnlyFans, or, like, who have been strippers now. I get it. It's different if you've been out and you gotta do it. Like, as I know some girls say, like, oh, I had to do it to pay the rent, I had to do it to do this. I understand, like, if that's your only option. But there are options out here, definitely to make money as a woman. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm gonna leave that up for y'all to decide. Like, You know, I'm gonna just leave that where it's at.
Yeah. So.
But fellas, how do y'all what's one of y'all main turnoffs within meeting a girl for the first time?
Go ahead.
You wanna go first?
No, go ahead, man. You've been quiet. Go ahead.
Women be like when they talk about their past relationships and they blame their ex for everything, and it sound like they was just an angel the whole time. It's like, so you ain't do shit wrong. Like there's nothing you can be accountable for.
That's it.
That's like the biggest red flag.
No. Well, for me, I would say, I guess that plays into it, and then also any type of, super feminist ideology that she might say by accident, I'm like, ah, shit, here we go. And then I'm going to start asking her questions to kind of see where she stands on what she's talking about, right? If she's like, let's say we're having a conversation and I'm like, you probably shouldn't wear something like that going out. And then she's like, oh, no, I wear what I want. I'm like, well, hold on. What do you mean by that?
You said, hold on.
let's dive a little bit deeper, right? And then I'll start asking more questions. I'm like, okay, all right, I see what type of woman she is. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put her in this sex only category, right? Because stuff like that. Because again, I guess I would consider myself more conservative, more traditional. Where I'm at, sure, the woman has full autonomy over her body. She controls what she wears, but at the end of the day, if the husband says, hey, or even the boyfriend, hey, I don't want you wearing that, it's not a fight, it's not an argument. It's like, okay, I'll go change, right? I'll go put on something more presentable. Because at the end of the day, she's representing me the same way I'm representing her. So it's not just, oh, you can wear whatever you want. It's you're going to go out there looking respectable. And even if I'm not around, you're still going to be presenting yourself in a certain manner that means you're spoken for, and not in a manner that means that you're open to be approached by people, or even not even just approached. It's also how people will treat you too as well. So think about let's put it because this is what I like to tell girls. Okay, let's say, sure, your body, your choice. You can wear what you want. So if I go outside, sagging my pants, I got a hole in my shirt, my hair is unkempt, my elbows are ashy, my lips are chapped, I got a patch in my beard somewhere, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a respectable guy. I could say that and say, you need to treat me with respect, but people are not going to treat me with respect, right? They're going to talk to me anyhow, or they'll avoid me, or if I start trying to talk to them about business, they're going to not want to associate with me, or put me in the category which they don't want to do business with me because they think I can't handle the conversation, right? So it's the same thing for women. If you want to go out there, you dress a certain type of way, people are going to put you in a certain type of category, and that it just is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah. I'm be honest. Sometimes y'all get in trouble with y'all friends too. Like y'all will be around your friends and they'll wear certain things. And if your friends, ladies, if your friends are single, I would advise you now there are such things as, girls having good friends that are genuinely single and who want the best for them, but they may not necessarily wish bad on you or want the worst for you, but not necessarily be good for you either, because they may have certain ideals and they may do certain things that may put you in a light as to where you may be unattractive to men, and I mean unattractive in the sense of relationship, not in the sense of, hookup culture. And, a lot of dudes will say, like, a way in like a hoish manner, or they're dressed in a certain way, talking a certain way. No dude is really going to slow down and be like, oh, well, is one of them a housewife, or is one of them wife material? He's not really going to slow down and, try to analyze that situation, especially in like a club setting or anywhere like that. So ladies, I'm just saying, like, definitely pick your friends wisely and pick who you hang around wisely, because, a lot of girls have the sense of having their friends kind of influence their decisions, especially when they're out at a club setting or they're trying to have fun or they're under the influence. You know, a lot of times certain women can be persuaded to do certain things like drink more. And overall, if you know that's not you, just don't put yourself around it. Like, I get having a good time, I get going out, having fun, that's cool. But definitely keep in mind that if you are looking to get into something serious,
boy, that's what they want. They want that BBC. They want some alcohol. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want. That's what they want.
So you think, like, do you think more women are in the hookup culture or more men are in the hookup culture?
I think more women, just simply because men struggle to get sex. I mean, honestly. So women control access to sex, men control access to marriage. So in general, women even like if you're on TikTok or things like that, and you see these arguments, or even when we're on Discord, like even in our own Discord, right? We see somebody like Miss Golden, right, talking about all her fun escapades, and Lana is telling her, "Hey, yeah, go do your thing, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you should break up with him and X Y." Like, come on, it just is what it is. And when the girl's young, mid-20s, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, they just out there getting their guts ran in. That's pretty much all they out there doing. So I would definitely say it's the women that are more in the hookup culture, because hey, that's what society's pushing, more promiscuity. Well, what do you think, Strict? How this nigga went to go lay down on us, boy, kicking his feet up.
I would agree. Way more women are in it. Oh God, man, I got tired of sitting up in that chair, bro. I was motherfucking on that website all night.
So
But which one called it? Women most definitely. Yeah, women most definitely. Cause like, bro, they have a lot more access to sex. So with them controlling who has access to, pussy and shit like that, like, motherfucking, there's always gonna be more dudes trying to get in.
They can pick whoever they want. Make the best man win. Yeah, damn it. Whoever got the tallest legs, whoever got the drippiest drip, the best car, the most money, who got the table, hey, they coming. But boom, let me hit my second question here. So we talked a little bit about this in the Discord, but are pick-me's the same as simps? And what's wrong with a pick-me?
I believe pick-me's and simps, they have similarities. I wouldn't say they exactly the same, but I would say they definitely have similarities. Like, because as we seen, we got multiple like simp ass dudes in the chat, and I would say they're equivalent to a pick-me. Like, bro, like, damn well, like, either you ignorant on what you talking about, and you just trying to get women. Cause even like some of the shit that they be saying, it's like, bro, there's no way you this ignorant. Like, you don't know this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain topics that they be talking about. It's like, there's no way that you really just said this dumbass shit. Like, as a dude, you should know. You feel me? Like, I don't even know, but yeah, I'm gonna say they're the same. They're the same.
So
I changed my answer. They're the same.
You say you think they're the same? So for a guy, what's wrong with it?
Shit, everything, nigga. Like, bro, you making it hard on the real niggas that's not pick-me's. Like, a nigga that's gonna be himself.
Well, hold
A
on,
man, man, like you feel.
hold on. So when I'm saying pick me's, I mean women. Not talking about the simps. I mean for women, right? So
Oh,
for a guy, what's wrong with a girl being a pick me?
Well, I mean, what's the
I'm
main
talking.
problem? The main problem with a pick me is she may not have the ideals that you think she does, and in other words, she's a chameleon. 9 times out of 10, she doesn't have those beliefs that she's leading you on to believe that she has. So if she's telling you, oh yeah, say if you're the type of dude that believe like, oh yeah, I want to have an open like monogamous relationship, but I want my woman to be faithful to just me, and she's giving you all this in your ear about yeah. I want to be in a relationship, committed. I won't cheat. I'll you all this other shit, right? That appeals to you specifically. Like she wants you to pick her, and she's appealing to you specifically. She may not have those same ideals, um, going into the relationship. Now, the thing about chameleons is they're chameleons. They're obviously going to go back to how they originally are over time. So, you with them, and you messing with them, and then she told you before, right? She like, oh yeah, if you tell me not to wear something, I won't wear it out if it's overly showing too much. But when it comes down to it, it may get to a certain point where she like, nah, I want to wear what I want to wear, or I want to do what I want to do. And then to some dudes who don't see that as a pity tactic, they'll sit there and be like, whoa, where's this coming from? But in reality, that's how she was at the start,
Time, right?
and it's just showing now. Exactly, and it's just showing now because that's how she is. It's just going back. It's just going back to how she originally is. She can't keep up with the act. And then, yeah, that's one of the main issues with a pick me. It's 9 times out of 10 are chameleons, and the situation will end up really bad for you in a long run because if she's a chameleon, that might be the type of girl you don't even go for it. But she made it seem like she was the type of girl that you would go for, and you went for her. In the end, she wasn't your type.
All right, yeah.
God, like, well,
Go ahead.
oh, what I wanted to say was like, pick-me's and simps, like, they're pick-me's because they look at the majority of men and be like, well, this is what the majority of men want, so I'm gonna try to be all of those things. And the majority of men, you feel me, are lower quality men. And then simps, they be like, I'm gonna do what the majority of women want, and the majority of women are lower quality women. So when you being a simp or a pygmy, like it sets the standard of what, like, because the majority of men are gonna choose a pygmy, and that's like the quality of women are going to lower because they're basing what they defining themselves as based on what the majority of men want, and the majority of society as a whole is stupid. When you base your personality traits off of how the majority feels, you feel me, like it is idiotic. You're gonna become a horrible person because you want to try to please the majority of society, and everybody saying the same exact shit, and it's stupid and it's not in depth. Like nobody thinks deep at all. So like what you're defining yourself as is ruining your character, and it's just making you one in a dozen. One, you feel me? Like every other person is gonna be like you.
Well, the way I look at
It's gonna be hard to define. Huh?
The way I look at it, right, is so I don't think pick-me's and simps are the same thing, right? Just simply because a simp in general is a guy who gives a woman time, money, and attention with no reciprocation, right? He's gonna get anything else in return. He's always constantly chasing this woman's validation or chasing after her, giving her validation, giving her attention, giving her money, right? I would think that a pick-me more aligns with a white knight, right? Which is a guy who is saying and doing everything or agreeing with everything woman does with what women do, right? So let's say typical white knight, like a white knight simps, right? But even masculine men can also simp too as well, but not agree with everything that woman say or do, right? So you can look at like say a Derek Jackson, right? He's a white knight, or he was a white knight, right? But he also had simp behavior. However, even in his own dating practices, he was still quote unquote acting like a masculine man because he was out there cheating on his girl and fucking multiple women, right? So the way I look at it, I would think
Hey, I got a question. Would you say cheating is masculine?
I wouldn't say it's masculine. I would actually say it's more cowardly, right? Because why not just tell her what's up from the first place? Because I don't agree with cheating at all. So I wouldn't say it's masculine. I would just say it's, yeah, I wouldn't say it's masculine, but I wouldn't say it's feminine either. I just think it's a bad trait that anybody might have. Right?
Yeah, I was just asking because
Yeah, I know.
what you had said.
Yeah, I know. I caught myself when I said I was like, but I had to keep going. But yeah, so the way I look at it, right? So I think pygmies are more aligned with white knights. However, there is certain chameleons that you might say, but then there are certain pygmies where it would be a woman who's just pointing out female bad behavior, and then other women are saying, "Oh, you're being a pygmy because she's trying to hold women accountable for their bad behavior," right? So I think in our society or in our debate spaces, there's several instances where pick me might be used incorrectly or be used to refer to other things because some women, because again, it's always the same way. It's mostly men calling other men simps. It's mostly women who call other women pygmies, right? So, but to touch on what you said, Strictly, you said that forming your opinion based on society, makes you an idiot, right? So that brings me to my third question: does social media make us less social, or less socially aware, or less, human? Would you say?
It does.
I
It
think
does. It does. Like in the sense of it making us less social. It's ironic to really think about though that one of the most social things can end up making you very antisocial or not really wanting to be social with people, and that comes from really what you see online. There's a lot of stuff you see online that makes you like, damn, I don't even want to be around people because a lot of negativity in spaces and a lot of spaces online. Like not even just in comment sections. I mean, like even in what people post. Because a lot of people have ideals, and in a space where you're able to constantly put out your ideals with no real consequences, because people have some messed up ideals. So you could be real about that. Like some people really do say some real frowned upon shit, and it's like they can put that out there with no consequences really being done to them. But overall, that'll make somebody honestly not want to go around people. They'll think like certain people will see stuff online and like, damn, that's the majority of people, and then they'll be like, damn, I don't even want to be around people like that. They'll start to look at things around them differently, like even random people they've never met before. Oh, he could be a killer, or he could be this, that, which is true, to an extent. Yes, you never know. Somebody could have different intentions, but honestly, social media and the media in general makes things seem like a majority when they're not really a majority. It's really a specific percentage of people. And that's one thing the internet is good at in general. It's making things seem like majority when it's really just limited. But yeah, sure, you can go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I think it makes I actually think it makes people more socially aware, but at the same time, it makes them less social. Like I feel like people have become hypersensitive to like just casual conversations. Like certain words in casual conversations could send somebody on the mental breakdown. Like because they thought of it this way, who it can affect, who it may harm. Like jokes aren't aren't even aren't even funny no more. Like you can't even. Well, they still funny. You just can't say them in certain areas type shit. You feel me? Like people have become overly social. I mean, socially aware. Uh, and then like yeah, like less social. I believe like bro, motherfucking like a lot of shit is propaganda, and dramatized, and it has caused fear. Like, it makes people more scared. Like, bro, nigga, probably like, nigga, 50 years ago, if you was 12 years old, you probably never seen death, gore, or anything like that. In today's society, you can see somebody getting their head chopped off. At 12, at 5 years old, if you got a fucking phone, you can find this shit. Like, I feel like that's why,
mainly on Twitter though. Mainly.
You feel me? You can see a lot of shit. Like, bro, 50 years ago, you didn't see, as an infant, as a kid growing up, you ain't see titties, you ain't see pussy, you ain't see blood, you ain't see guns. It was a lot of shit that you didn't see. And now everybody has access to this shit. I may never be a killer in my life, but I know exactly what to do. On God, I know a million ways to kill people. You feel me? Like, nigga, it's crazy. Like, and that makes people less social, because they know that all this information is available, and now they're scared of what the next person might have going through their head because of what they've seen in their lifetime.
And look though, I'm gonna touch on it too. Like, the point of social media has desensitized a lot of people to a lot of things that they should not be desensitized to. Like, death in itself. The first time you see somebody get their head cut off, it'll fuck with you for like a day or two. Like, you may end up thinking that, like, especially seeing it for the first time, you may end up thinking about it, like, that shit for like the next week or so. Like, it may fuck you up, but that's really what that's supposed to do. Like, that's really what that does to you. But what happens is you're seeing it without having to actually live it, and that's where spark comes from. You're desensitized to it now. You've seen it enough to the point where if you actually did see it in real life, it may not fuck you up as bad, or you may not sit there and overthink it too much.
Like,
because you've already dealt with those feelings of, now I'm gonna be honest, it is different seeing something in person, and it is different seeing it over the phone or social media. But the reaction you'll have may necessarily be the same towards it, because it's still affecting you on a mental / emotional level. But yeah, hell yeah, it is. Social media has desensitized a lot of kids at a young age, desensitized a lot of older people to death, SA, things like that, things of that nature. I feel as though in spaces where people are allowed to like put out stuff like that, like especially on Twitter, because you'll see it on Twitter not like all the time, and people will reshare it, re-show it to their friends, and it'll just be an endless cycle of people gaining trauma from something like that. And it's crazy to think that something that you saw over the phone could cause you genuine trauma, but it definitely can.
Well, so when I look at it, right, I don't know if I would agree we're desensitized, right, to, I guess you would say, to the most horrendous parts of life, right, death, shootings, stabbings, XYZ, but then at the same time, we're actually more sensitive when it comes to like words or treatment, right? Like, even right now, you can't call somebody a maggot, but it starts with an F, right? Because that's so offensive, right? On TikTok,
right,
you can't say kill, you can't say sexual assault, or certain words you just can't say because it triggers somebody. But then at the same time, this same person who's so triggered by the words you said, they might advocate for somebody to get killed, right? And people like, how can you have such a moral outrage for a word, but then you advocate for something else that is, equally, morally harmful.
Under that. That falls under that. Selective outrage. Yeah. That falls under that.
Yeah, that actually slides right into my fourth question, which is weaponized virtue a social detriment, right? So, what do you guys think? Weaponized outrage, or excuse me, weaponized virtue. Is that a social
So yeah,
detriment?
directed towards like a certain group of people or
This nigga
certain
sleep. Wake your ass up, boy. But he sleep. Church took his ass out.
Define
Ass nigga.
virtue.
Huh? Weaponized virtue.
Define virtue.
Virtue. So think about this. So I mean, so let's see. I know there's an actual definition, but I want you to kind of understand what I'm talking about. So let's say, okay, so perfect. So think about it like this. Let's say you might get on YouTube and there'll be a channel, a YouTube channel, and they're like, oh, they're a reaction channel where they react to clips, and they see an instance where, let's say, a guy punches a woman, right? And then, but the woman was being physically aggressive with the guy or in his face and cornered him in a place where he had no way to escape. So, boom, he hit her one time, to squash the situation, right? And they're like, hey, fuck around and find out. Equal rights, equal rights, equal lefts, right? But then, this same channel will then see another clip where a guy is talking about how he had to punch a girl, right? But there's no context. And then they're like, oh, you're such a bad person because you hit women. And, oh, look at this. You like to beat women. You advocate for women getting hit. And then their followers would then turn on this person and be like, oh, yes, report. Oh, find out where he lives, dox him because he likes to hit women. But it's like, you just made a video about equal rights, equal lefts. So you were just saying it's okay to hit a woman, and then now So that's why I say weaponized virtue.
It's heavily contradicting.
Yeah,
it is.
So that's why
that's
what
really
I'm
big.
Weaponized virtue, right? So anything that might have been considered, something that somebody who is, morally right shouldn't do, and then people are like, oh, hey, you did this. Oh, you said, or like, so I don't know if you guys pay attention too much to like Call of Duty and stuff like that. So Nick Merckx, when they had so there was a riot in Cali where some parents, I think there was a bill being passed or something. But anyways, the parents were
with the train.
Yeah, they were protesting about that being in the school. So then Nick Merckx posts on his Twitter. He says, all I'm saying is they should just leave the kids alone, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, Call of Duty takes his skin out of the marketplace, and they're like, hey, we support our members and our staff and our employees, our players in pride, right? And it's like, but he didn't say anything against the LGBT. So how you guys trying to weaponize his virtue of being accepting or transphobic, that he's being transphobic when he said nothing against them, right? So
right.
That's what I consider a weaponized virtue. That everybody's virtue, basically, that's what they call virtue signaling. Yeah, go ahead.
Definitely.
I'm finna have to get out of here.
You said what?
I'm finna have to get out of here. I gotta go meet with one of my clients. He wants to take me and my father-in-law. I said father-in-law, stepfather, out to like dinner or something.
Okay. When you gotta go? Right now?
Huh?
When you gotta go? Right now?
Like probably in like 15.
All right. So then, what's your take? What do you think about weaponized virtue? Is it a detriment to society?
Weaponized virtue. Yeah, because I feel like that falls in line with the them stan accounts type shit. When it goes to like say for instance Nicki Minaj fans, you know how they be doing the goddamn like, bro, what's going on, man?
Hey,
man, I don't know what's going on with my shit, but they can get somebody's whole account deleted just based on how they feel. Like, I don't feel like that's right. I feel like we give celebrities too much power. Like, a celebrity can quote retweet something on Twitter and motherfucking all of their followers is now DMing this person and they're talking shit. They making fun of them. They bullying these, like cyberbullying these people. Like it's a lot of power that these people have that they take advantage of, and I don't believe it's right. So yeah, I would agree that it's a detriment to society.
Alright, facts, right?
To be honest, yeah, well, that makes perfect sense. I see it being a detriment to society because I feel as though, well, like you said about this Nick Burke situation, I feel like a lot of people can get canceled or necessarily get framed for something they weren't necessarily trying to do or portray themselves as, and that's a very powerful thing. And we've seen that, speaking on certain things such as race and gender, it becomes a space as to where people can be misunderstood. Like one little misunderstanding can get somebody's whole image slandered. It can make them seem like something they're not, and it becomes a very bad thing because once you start putting certain labels on certain people that don't necessarily pertain to that label or have those certain ideals, it starts to get messy. So then when that person goes and tries to join a space or they try to go somewhere new, they may be looked at as, oh, he's a sexist, oh, he's this, he's that. When in reality, that's not what he is.
Right.
And he may be kept out of certain spaces because of these accusations. And that's why, personally, I feel like it's a detriment overall.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cap. That should remind me of this situation that happened in Europe. It was like with the little kid or little girl, something like that. They went to a concert and they took a picture and they posted it, and the caption was like, "My favorite piggy," because the person who was a now performer or a performing artist, they used to be on a show where, like, when they were a child, like they were a childhood actor, they used to be on a show and every performer was considered like a piggy. But the person in the UK thought that when they took the picture and they posted it with their caption, they thought they was calling them fat, like, because they said "my favorite little piggy." And
can't mind their fucking business. That's why.
Yeah, oh God, like motherfucking the performing artists, they end up quote retweeting a picture that said "my favorite little piggy," and they start making jokes at the person, just instantly bullied them online.
Facts. Yeah, so even in our own Discord, right? We might be saying one thing, and then all of a sudden, all these girls will jump in and be like, "Oh, you're being, I don't even got to go into it, but that's just the point when I say weaponized virtues. Everybody's virtue signaling. Nobody really stands on anything. People are too scared to speak up or, speak from their point of view because they want to blend in with society. And so it is what it is. It's just part of it. Oh, no, he left. I wanted him to give his controversial take before he left. But all right, what up, AJ? Boy, late to the party. Oh, there he is.
Good, it's good. Yeah, I had to do some stuff with my mom today, but you recording right now?
Yeah, you gotta come up, buddy. Gotta look pretty for the camera.
Look pretty.
Hey, y'all, man.
Hey, before you leave,
before
you leave, what's your controversial take?
Oh, my controversial take is black men in America over their entire presence, we haven't upheld much.
What do you mean?
We haven't had the opportunity to uphold anything.
Oh, okay. As far as what?
Makes sense.
Because they try to pin a lot of things on the black man. And you feel me? Like all the isms, they try to say black men uphold it. They try to say we uphold self-hatred. They try to say we uphold a lot of things, and we haven't been put in positions, and we've been removed from positions, like systematically removed from positions. and replaced by black women in these positions. So we haven't had the opportunity to uphold none of these isms. We haven't passed down a lot of black traditions by the man because we've been removed from leading households. We've been removed from leadership positions in the system, like in the economy. But yeah. But all right, y'all, man. I'm gonna catch y'all later, man. Y'all send me the link and everything.
All right, man.
Bang bang. Oh yeah, boy, late to the party. See that pull-up bar you don't be using because you got a towel hanging from it. Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you. You're muted.
I said I'm not using it right now because like I'm on a fasting, like, you know, trying to get the stuff out of my body, blah
mean?
blah.
Sweat it out. What you
I'm fasting.
Bari, tell him to sweat
I'm
it out.
fasting. Huh? Nah, I'm fasting so I can push out all the BS, then put in some more BS for bulking. You know?
You can't dirty bulk,
Mm-hmm.
man. Nothing good.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing good comes from
that's how
dirty
you build
bulking,
muscle.
man.
Except more muscle, right? Yeah. You're trying to get big. Yep. All right. So you said, what's my controversial take?
No. We ain't there yet. What you
Okay.
got your 5 questions you were supposed to ask? You late to the party. You missed 4 of them. At least 4 of mine. But
Okay.
we'll talk about
Yeah, I 4 of mine too. I have 4 of mine too. I ain't gonna lie. I got one more.
I'm asking the 4 questions, right? Or the 5 questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me think. All right.
Written down, little buddy.
Nah, because I'm like, ah, dang, I thought you were gonna. Okay.
No,
But I do have a question.
Yeah, I can ask you, right? So, go ahead. Because I can ask you again. Don't matter.
All right. Do you think that traditional values were like taught, like they were just invented by humans, or do you think that we naturally just were traditional and then we just put it into words? For example, a man going out being the provider, a woman staying in the home, or a woman staying back and taking care of the kid and stuff. Do you think that a man just woke up, I'm going to go out and get resources and this woman's going to stay here. Yeah, we're going to make that. And they just got all together. Or did we naturally just, intrinsically understand that, hey, men are better at certain things, so let's do this. Women produce babies, so they're going to do that. And it just feels right. Like, where do you think it came from? Basically, do you think it's social or biological? What I'm asking. Traditional values.
Oh, I definitely think it's biological, man. I mean, obviously. I mean, if we're looking, and people always hate when you're like, oh, we're not in the caveman days. But if you look at the caveman days, okay, it's like, shut up, bitch. This is where it came from. Obviously, they're saber-toothed tigers. Some people have said that even humans were living when there's certain dinosaurs around, right? They're hyenas, they're bears, lions, whatever, what have you may was out there in the world, and somebody had to fight them bitches, right? And somebody had to have the kids. So who has the kids? The woman. Who had to fight those or protect the woman while she's having the children? The man. Okay, so the man finally made fire. Boom. Found a cave, put fire in front of the cave, put his bitch in the back, and said, hey, don't leave the cave because there's fucking bears out here. I'll go find some goddamn food and make sure you're safe. That's pretty much where it came from, right? Because obviously we knew that by nature, the woman was not going to be able to have the same amount of stamina running around as the man. We knew she wouldn't be able to lift as much meat to bring it back to the house as the man. We knew she would definitely not be able to fight off these beasts to the same ferocity as the man could, right? So
now, all right, let me say something. So, all right, for the women, that he's not saying that like that you couldn't, but there's a reason as to why it wasn't natural, or a reason as to why it didn't happen as much. It's because dudes are naturally biologically way bigger. Their bones are more dense. They're bigger, and they don't have they don't have menstrual cycles. Like that's not a
They don't cramp up
Right.
during.
Hold
yeah,
on.
right,
Imagine
that's not a biological
Wait. So exactly, one of the main things that I was just reading this the other day. Men don't have menstrual cycles. So what is menstrual? Blood. Who smells blood? Predators. So
That's true.
Whether it's a prey that you're going after, like a deer or a woolly mammoth or a pack of wolves or a bear, if she's menstruating, that is the worst time for her to be out in the wild trying to fight or hunt anything, because one, blood in the air, the predator's coming, or two, blood in the air, the prey is fleeing
Now,
because it smells blood.
it has been noted, it has been brought to date that when women are under certain levels of stress and they are under a lot of say this is why women in the army are less likely to maintain a certain cycle versus a woman being out of the military and just being a normal woman on the street. They have two totally different cycles because they may deal with different stress levels. So it has been shown that in the army, for females, they will miss their cycle for months at a time. Now, did this happen back then? I don't know enough research to be able to say confidently that this happened back then. But I do take into account that it may have happened back then because it definitely does happen now.
I think that, I mean, we can name all the biological, the obvious truisms that we want to, right? But really, this is all really common sense. The only reason we have to even talk about this is because women, American feminists, right? They want to be men so bad, so they have to delude themselves into thinking that they're equal. So even when you say something like, oh, well, men could hunt, men hunted more. Well, women hunted too. We hunted also. Like I was having this debate, and then we actually looked it up, and it turns out women hunted way less than men. Yes, they hunted a little bit. I'll give the ladies that. But not only did they not hunt a lot, but even when they would hunt, guess what? The woman will be more likely to get hurt. The woman will be slower. The woman will be couldn't carry as many kills as the man can, right? So that's why they didn't. So not only did the woman not do it a lot, but the men didn't even want the woman to do it. Because they tried the whole inclusivity thing. They tried the whole equal thing. They didn't want to do it. They're like, no, stay home. No, you twist.
I'm not gonna lie.
Stay home.
And this point back then, it wouldn't even be argued, because why would you, as a woman, think about it. Like, as a person in general, if you have the luxury of being at home and you don't have to put yourself in a certain danger or you don't have to do certain things, like go out, work, just do physical things and do all this bullshit. If you didn't have to back then, I understand as to why women were more on the side of, all right, I'll stay home, I'll do this. But because, there was animals out there that kill them, they would get hurt way more. So it was safer for them to be home. But if you want to shift it to today's society, with women wanting to be home way more, it doesn't really work, because now, yes, there are still dangers outside that a man could face way better than a woman could. But if we are speaking on it, there is less danger nowadays in
less.
There's way more, things for women to protect themselves with now than they could back then. So I understand the stigma of them wanting to go out and get it on their own and be independent.
Even then, though, when the pandemic happened and people couldn't go to work, once the jobs opened back up, women en masse rather stay home and get those stay with the work from home opportunities and actually go back into the office, right? So women can say, I want to work to get my money. Sure, of course you do. There's nothing wrong with being an adult. That's what I look at.
Right.
No, I'm independent. Oh, great. You're a fucking adult. Okay, that means nothing to a man, because
adult, right?
You still want a man that can provide, right? You still want a man who's financially stable. You still want a man who can, at the end of the day, if you were to lose your job or if you had to take maternity leave, that he'd be able to afford everything that entails to making sure you're living comfortable so you can produce that baby, Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Could you say that? Could you argue that men are men are built more for independency and women are built more for companionship?
Interdependence. I'd say that I use the word interdependence, and if anything,
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, men are more independent, women are more interdependent. That's why men do better in general when it comes to independence in general. And then that's why you'll hear like a girl, if she wants to date a guy or something, that's why they'll always refer to a relationship as teamwork, right? Whereas a man might refer to it as a relationship, or like he'll describe it in a way of like leadership, almost like she's following him, like, oh, the things I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to provide, blah blah blah. So that's more so why I think that's just how our brains are, and that's how just we want to be. Again, we're both human, so we both men can be more interdependent, women can be more independent, but obviously it matters on who leans more on the, on the other side of each.
Right. Anybody can be anything. It just would take certain work to get there. You know what I mean?
That too, but also who's naturally better, who naturally wants to do it. But I will say, as far as women working thing, right? I also read that like women, okay. So like, and I kind of understand on the notion like why, as far as power, why women wouldn't want to stay in the home as much, even though they physically want to, right? Like like any human would be more than happy to chill and just like do fuck all, aside from having to go out and constantly, like any human, right? But especially women, because the things we just named. But the thing is though, in those past times, like before history, women did hunt. They got small rodents, gathered berries, blah, blah, blah. So in the wild, resources pretty much equal power, right? Or not power, but resources, like it makes things equal, because let's say the men go out there, they hunt some deer, they hunt some mammoths, whatever, they bring it all back. Let's say they were on some BS today and the woman didn't feel like giving up sex. So we said, oh, no sex equals no food, right? Okay, well, so for you to get food, you gotta have sex. But if the woman says, "Okay, I got some berries, I killed a rabbit, I'm good," then it kind of balances everything out, right? Like most people think, like, "Oh, men just took it from women." No. If you're in a tribe with your woman, huh?
I said that would never
you said
what? Man denying
Oh no! I'm not saying a man deny. I'm saying the woman would like try to whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, people think like, the man just came in and took it. No, not necessarily. They're actually pretty peaceful. I'm just saying if that were to happen, right? So resources in the wild, just resources in general, like is a degree of bargaining power. But when you start a new society and we started a farm, problem was that women couldn't keep up with men, or at least they couldn't keep up. Like their bones would literally break because of all the harsh days that they'd have to work. Because remember, maintaining a society, especially a early society like that, is extremely hard. You're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding tons of people, so you gotta get food out quickly. So the women gotta move back and forth. The men were tired too, but the women, their bones are breaking, some of them would die. So they just say, you know what, screw it. We don't want our women to keep breaking their bones, die, put them in the home permanently. And then the men, but then they say like, oh, that made them over time lose a little bit of power, they weren't getting resources, blah, blah, blah. My point is, it makes sense to me why today that women want to work to have more power and stuff like that. The problem is that you're already in America. You're already in a first world country. That power that you're talking about, I mean, you already have it. We're not in the 1960s, so you can get a job and stuff, but submitting to a man isn't the worst thing in the world. Like you could chill. Like it's not going to be like you're stuck, and it's like the 60s, you're stuck. And now you can't go anywhere because, oh, I'm a woman, I can't work. No, you can work now. Right. But again, it's a.
That's the part that women love overlooking, right? They're like, oh, you just want a slave, and what if he leaves her when we know 80% of marriages are invoked by women?
Initiated by women. So yeah, I'm like.
There's no real statistic where it shows a lot of fear.
80% of marriages are divorced by women. Y'all said initiated.
I mean, yeah, that would be the same thing, right?
But I knew what y'all were trying to say, but they might not have.
No, he's saying that he's saying that finalized. No, but Jabari, we're saying both. For 80%, it is. Maybe it's 70%. Maybe it fluctuates, but for 80%, it would still be the person that verbally says, "I want to get divorced." 80% of the time, that's women.
That's what I'm speaking on. But yeah, I'm speaking on more so. Yeah, yo, I got what y'all were saying, but the audience may have not got what you were saying.
I understand. We said it quickly, so I understand the words.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's just that when women are running around saying this, is like no man is saying, I don't want my bitch not to work. I don't want her not to have a job. I don't want her to go to school. Nobody's saying that, right? There's no real logic behind any man saying that, especially if he has some type of purpose, right? It's just the issue comes when the woman is like, oh, I want to be independent, because why are you independent? Women seek independence to be independent of men, whereas men seek independence so they can now have a family dependent on them, right? So it's these conversations, and I have a super stuff right now. But it's these conversations, it's kind of, it's in my opinion, it's slightly annoying to me, because it's like nobody's stopping you from going to school. Nobody's going to stop you from getting a job. Nobody's trying to lock you in the house where you can't see the world or whatever.
Right. Like, I feel like the whole thing is like it kind of associated with, oh, he's treating me like a slave. Oh, he wants me to just be here 24/7 and not do anything. It's more so to protect you and to give you an opportunity to actually relax and to take a load off versus looking at it as a punishment.
Right.
Like, baby, I ain't trying to punish you. I'm just trying to give you
a
life, an easy life, right? I'm just trying to provide for you so that you don't have to go out here and do what I have to do. You don't have to put in the long hours. You don't have to overexert yourself. You can just sit back and enjoy life. And listen, all dudes really, if you really love a girl, you want to give her new experiences. You want to give her experiences that she's never felt before. As a man, that'll make you feel good. But I feel as though having that stigma that, oh, like when a girl will say, oh, he just wants me in the house, he wants me to be a slave. I feel as though that's kind of like slapping the face towards a guy who really loved you, because it's like, hey, I'm trying to do everything for you, but okay, if you want to go out here and get it yourself, I ain't gonna stop you.
Right. It's like there's so many of these boss chicks, independent women, and they'll be complaining. They'll be like, you'll see them on Instagram and their stories. Oh, I'm just waiting for the guys. We're just waiting for my sugar daddy, so I don't have to stop, so I can stop working. Or I'm just waiting on this guy to come swoop me up, so I don't have to work anymore. And it's like, okay, well, you could have found that. You can still find that if you start prioritizing work and start prioritizing the man and the family, right? You have Chelsea Handler crying about being unmarried at her big old age. You got Oprah saying, hey, regretting not getting married or finding a man. You got all these women who are super successful that are now coming out and saying, yeah, I wish I had a man, or I wish
we got scammed.
Yeah, I got
feminism
scammed.
lied.
Right, so, but you'll have another woman saying, oh no, women are more happier than ever before. Women are so happy now. It's like, stop it. Like,
have you met these women? Like, happy? That's what you have you actually talked to these people? Like,
have you actually had conversations with these girls?
Yeah, I'm like, have you been around? Like, happy? That's what you call happy? You know what's crazy? And I was gonna speak on the thing. Jabari, it's like, bro, you know what's the worst thing is about them saying whatever? They're regurgitating what they're saying. They're parroting. In other words, they don't mean what they're saying. They don't actually mean it.
Right.
They're just saying
they
it sounds
good.
good.
They're saying it because it sounds good. Right. I was about to say.
Sounds good. I don't need
hear somebody else say.
I'm woman. I am strong. Hear me roar. Like they want to be on that BS. But as they get older, it's like they're like, oh my gosh, oh what's going on? What's happening? And then, but God, it's so arrogant. It's such arrogance.
They
you know
start
what's funny?
as they get older, you know what I mean? They start to learn the true meaning of having a person there with you, being in a committed relationship, a good marriage, or having companionship overall. It's very important to have that as you get older, though.
But they're so arrogant because it's like you try to help them, you try to tell them what to do, but it's like they try to tell you as a man that you're wrong on what you're saying. Like if you tell them, like, hey, have you tried not? I don't know. I don't care about that or insecure. I don't want to attract insecure men. Okay. All right.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Even older women frown upon the pictures that these girls put out. Like they even say, like I'm around like, you know, I'll be around my grandparents and they'll like see like stuff on the internet, and I'll be like, I would never go out like that. Even when I was younger, I didn't go out like that. And these are women that are in relationships. Like the older people or older women I've talked to and like actually sat down and had a conversation with, they look at a lot of the younger girls nowadays crazy. Like they look at them like, wow, what's going on? Like, who are their mothers? You know, it's like it's getting worse and worse. And a lot of the stuff that, you know, these older people are frowned upon, mind you, they came from an era of getting married, falling in love, having significant relationships and good marriages. They actually came from an era of building something rather than just leaving something alone when it gets tough or, you know, there's problems.
It's over,
like, like it's become a situation as to where women aren't seeing the things that they're doing wrong. Like they're not seeing them as problems anymore because there's a lot of women that are enabling the problems. Like, for example, like I touched on earlier, if she has friends and she's going out with her friends, well, I have this saying, and other dudes have said it too, single women keep women single. Like, they keep other women single.
Yeah,
and I say that to say, like,
right.
Exactly.
I remember the saying, and it was me and you that made it. Single women keep single women single women. That's the saying. Yeah.
Right. We used to say that a lot, but it's very true. Because a lot of single women will exhibit single behaviors, and if there's a girl that you are around and she is in a relationship, as a guy, the last thing you'll want is your woman to have a friendship that's constantly pushing her to do single things or constantly pushing single ideals onto her.
I'll be real. I don't even think. I think we only call it single ideals or single actions because we're in the society. But in any other time period, that would have just been hoe activities. Hoes like we say single.
You were going to say that. I think you was going to say.
They're acting. They're just. These are hoe activities. These aren't like going out to getting like really shit faced drunk and fucking all these guys. That's hoe activity. Oh, I'm sick.
It is.
So they're like, oh, so when I get in a relationship, no. A normal, a single activity, ladylike, right, would simply be a woman that behaves feminine, right, that simply just doesn't have a ring on her finger, in my opinion. She doesn't have a ring on her finger, but she's still nice, still delicate, still feminine, right, still friendly. But these girls out here nowadays, oh, I'm single, so I'm get, like, it's crazy. So, no, I mean, we say single because, you know, they get all butthurt. I noticed that before, shaming hoes wasn't a big thing because, you know, most women know, you know, it was a lower percentage of hoes, so it was like everybody against like 5-10%. Now it's 50-50. It's like 50% of the women are hoes, 50% of the others we don't know. So we just gotta be careful what we say before they get offended.
Even if they aren't hoes necessarily, they may
have whole mentality.
They got the whole costume.
They may look though, they may exhibit whole tendencies, but they don't look at them as tendencies. They don't look at them as hoish tendencies because and this is what happens. They 9 times out of 10 can adopt these ideals from other places or other girls or other females. They can adopt these ideals from them, and you know they'll use the word, "Oh, that's so cute. Oh, that's so cute. I'll do that. That's so cute." They'll do it, but not realize, hey, that's not attractive to men. And you touched on a point that was very important, Jay. You touched on a point that was very important in the conversation that we had the other day. In the conversation that we had the other day, and it was that certain things that a woman will do will turn a man off. And I touched on this earlier too, but certain things, you know, women say things or do things that will make them unattractive to men, and it's coming to a point where women don't really know what's attractive to men, but they feel as though they know, so they'll do certain things and, you know, try to attract a man, but they don't understand the light they're attracting that man in. Like, a man can be attracted to you in 2 different ways, either just sexually, or he could be attracted to you in a relationship kind of way. And I said this earlier too, like, he may want to take you serious, but based off what you do, say, and how you act will determine whether he puts you in that just fucking category or he puts you in that I'm taking you serious category.
Yeah, definitely. Like there are different types of the different types of arousal we were.
Yeah, we were talking about.
But you know the worst thing about women, and I noticed this last night, and I know this is multiple women do this. There will be something that a man will do that's natural to men, or there's something that a man won't like, or I guess he does like, and the woman will try to tell the man what he should like, and she'll and this is where the arrogance / delusion comes in. She'll try to tell him as if she has some type of authority, or if she has some type of power, some higher level understanding. Trying to tell, oh, you shouldn't like that. You should like this. You should do this. You should do that. I'm like, why would you tell a man what he should and should not like?
Just
because that's weird.
Arrogant,
because it's weird. Why does he like this? Well, why don't you like a guy that's shorter than you, right? Oh, well, that's different. No, it's not different. We're different. Are men and women different? Oh, yes, but okay, we're different. So why are you surprised that we have different things that we're attracted to? When it comes to sexuality, we're opposites. Like, I want my opposite. If I'm dealing with a woman, I want a woman that's masculine like me. I want a woman that's feminine. I don't want a woman that's as tall or taller than me. I want a woman probably that's shorter or something. Like, you know, like I want my opposite. That's just how it. Oh no, but it shouldn't be that way. It should be like this way. Oh, I don't like that. It doesn't matter what you like. Listen, all I said was this is why y'all dying alone so much. This is why y'all are gonna die alone. I mean, of course you're gonna go ahead, live life, take a ton of dick, like all of you do. But then you're gonna get to a point where you don't want to do that anymore, where you want one of them to stay, right? But then no one's gonna stay because all those options. Oh, I got all these DMs, which means all the people, all those options, try to exercise those options before they leave. Yeah.
The baby powder, all in the egg. And obviously about to dry up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like they say, there's a girl turning 18 years old every single day. Al Pacino, okay, at them 81 years old can have a goddamn baby. Hey, shorty, hey, keep on doing you. There's gonna be a younger woman that's gonna come on and fill the shoes that you should have had.
They say that funny enough, they say that like if you like younger girls, 18 or whatever, then they're trying to call you a Edo. And I'm like, I said it's a dumb route to go down. I mean, I'll be right. If it's a 50-year-old man or 40-year-old guy with an 18-year-old girl fresh out of high school, not gonna lie, does sound a little bit weird. I'd be lying. It does sound a little odd, right? But for me to call him a pedo, and for me to say that he's like, oh, even a predator would be a little bit much, because I'd be like, well, hold on. I mean, is it legal? Like, is she like, I remember being 18. I wasn't a complete idiot. Like, I don't think most people are complete idiots. I mean, yeah, they're dumb kids, but they're dumb young adults. But you know, still, it's like is it to the point where
they like to emphasize themselves when it suits them, right? They like to act or consider themselves still children or innocent whenever it suits them. But then when it doesn't suit them, they're grown, right? So
just true. That's true. I noticed that. But that's why, bro. I just don't believe in this whole like. That's why it scares me for the future when they say, "Oh, women empower, women will lead." It's not real talk. It's not a man thing. I'm not saying this because I'm a man. Men must be empowered. Patriarch. No. Ladies are idiots. They're dumb. They are literally stupid. They don't know how to. They legitimately, when it comes to logic and reasoning, they suck at it. They absolutely suck at it. Now, is this every single woman? Obviously not, right? There are probably some great female leaders that exist on the planet. Duh. But I'm saying, like, if we really try to switch everything, oh, let's put women in power. Oh, I feel like genuinely we'd be screwed as a species. We would start World War III if she got, I don't know, mad that he said she looked fat in her dress or something. Like just little things. It scares me. So like, yo, we need to go to Mars. Like we need to get away from these women. Like, but like I said, right? Like I said, before, it's probably never gonna happen for real. Oh wait, that wasn't my point. No, it probably will happen. I'm talking on two different things. Never mind. That probably will happen because the more with the woke agenda, with the future agenda, right? So, you know, they're probably going to be dumb enough to let a really emotional woman, a really unfit woman, in the presidency. They're all going to die, and that'll be it. But yeah.
For me, when it comes to so I'm willing to see what a female American president would do, right? Just to just to say I'm a part of
I'm
history
not.
when it happened, right? But the thing is, when they had Hillary Clinton, women didn't vote for her, right? I literally thought Hillary Clinton was gonna win because at that point in time, there's a lot of female empowerment also going on. So I was like, oh shit, Hillary about to win this shit. Nope, she did not. So it's
We were like, we're dumb, but we're not that dumb. Hold on, wait, whoa, wait a minute.
I don't know.
Women aren't dumb. They're not stupid. It's just they think they're foolish. They're like children. A lot of them are like children. Not all of them. I won't even say most, but the ones that are the loudest, the ones that lead the movements, they're basically toddlers. They choose and push stupid ideals, and that can backfire on them in the future. They don't see that. They lack critical thinking skills. Another thing, they lack critical thinking skills. They're bad at taking criticisms. They're not good at learning from their mistakes. But you know what? That's person to person. So I'll take that one off. They're overly emotional. They take loss personally. They take things personally, right? They hold grudges. Yeah, no, I think women in general.
Would you believe that their critical thinking skills, that they lack in critical thinking skills because they act on impulse? Like speaking on that specific type of woman, would you say that the reason as to why they lack critical thinking skills is, well, one of the reasons why they lack critical thinking skills is because they act more on impulse and emotion than they do on actually thinking through things and trying to problem solve?
Well, kind of, but no, because the thinking comes before the action, right? So that means that so no, I wouldn't, and the action comes after. So no, I wouldn't blame that on action. I'd actually somewhat blame it on the education system and our culture, and not because women already, like, in my opinion, I think that when it comes to actually sitting down and thinking things through, put it like this: the more scary person is going to be the one to overthink more. Like, they're going to be the one to, do whatever, like, more. So to some degree, I'd actually say that women do that sometimes more. The problem is when I say, like, the critical thinking as far as data and information analysis, because they're emotional, they're going to be more biased. If they're more biased, that means their decision making is going to be worse compared to men, which they take complete bias out of it, look at the data, make the decision. Now, I'm not saying that women can't do this, of course, but again, if she has some type of emotional attachment to it, or she has some type of emotional bias to it, I just think that she's just going to be more likely to make the worst decision. It's just, and I don't think that's good. Those are good traits for leadership.
I guess that feels right and not what is right.
Exactly, and I'm like, you can't. I mean, don't get it twisted. Sometimes the decision that feels right can be right. I'm not saying that they're 100% wrong, but you shouldn't be going off feelings. You need to be going off data and analysis. Like I said, like it doesn't work. Again, criticism. Leaders are under constant scrutiny, constantly, right? So because of this, if you're dealing with an emotional woman that constantly, like, I think Megan Thee Stallion was taking some criticism. She was, well, I want to put her in the leadership, so I'm not even bring her up. But basically, like, when you're like, that's a terrible example for leadership. But yeah, like, it's like, I wouldn't even, like, if women, when they do take criticism, they get all emotional, right? Why do you think that when women speak to each other, they walk on eggshells? Because they want to be ultra respectful, so they don't get mad really quickly. You can see with the girls in our chat. At first, they're respectful, but I'll be real. As soon as a girl steps on another girl's toes, all hell breaks loose. They start to get into arguments. Start to go for insecurity.
Very bad. It does. It does very quickly, very fast. That's why, for my dudes, if you out there, you're around a bunch of girls, and you see them. Oh, hey, girl, you look good. You're such a 10.
That's why they do that.
She's a 4. Yeah, that's why. Like,
they do it for a reason.
Right, they do it to keep the peace. Because as soon as that girl, walk up to another girl, ew, you ugly, or ew, I don't like you. It's over with. It's over with. They may not even know each other, but they beef. They gonna beef for the rest of their life. Like, it's And then the women aren't afraid to take it. I wouldn't even say afraid, but women will take shit to a place where it don't need to go. They take it.
I feel like another reason women don't take it there, though, is because a lot of girls hate each other and fight each other and stuff like that. But I'll be real, like, I don't think, like, most girls have taken, like, a real punch to the face before. like they've never been punched in the face for real. And if they have, they probably would chill out, like with the whole like talking crap stuff. Like yeah, I've noticed, some girls say, oh, but hold on. Pulling hair and smacking each other upside the head, that's not, come on, bro. Come on. Like a straight up square punch in the face, a good punch in the face will humble you. It'll make you not say certain things to people. So I think that's why women aren't really afraid to go there with other women. You see what I'm saying? Hell, that's why they're not afraid to go with men. I mean, men are more chill. So a man can start with a woman because she's a woman. What the hell? But the thing is, though, again, if more chicks understood, like, if they actually were more violent, I feel like men, if they actually were fighting each other like men would, they'd probably chill out more. But, all of them just get catty, talk shit, whatever. Like, plus it's the internet. It is what it is. They show violence through speech. Men are the ones that usually show violence through fists. So,
so
that's why they try to.
You'll see this a lot though. Like if a girl is with her man, she may hype him up. Like he may get into another altercation with a dude. She may hype him up at first, but as soon as she sees that he's beating the shit out of this dude and the dude bleeding and blood everywhere, yeah, the narrative is gonna change. It's gonna be more so, oh my god, stop him, call the cops. Oh my god, we gotta break it up. Yeah, no, because you ain't used to seeing shit like that. You ain't used to seeing a nigga get their face punched in.
Women
Like,
don't have they don't understand the propensity of violence. They don't understand the threat of violence or physical violence, right?
Yeah, because it's so common for a woman to say. It's so common for women to have violent speech. It's so common.
Yeah,
it's actually casual. It comes up in casual conversations nowadays too.
It's
like
it's that
I hate each other.
Also biological, right? So men evolved to use their physicality. Women evolved to use their brains, right? So the woman's highest power, greatest form of power, is her ability to manipulate with her mind. The man's greatest power, naturally, is to manipulate with his physicality, right? So when you look at, let's say, studies of interpersonal violence between couples, it's always, I think it's two times the amount of initiation by women on men when it comes to interpersonal violence. And interpersonal violence is not just physical, right? It's also from verbal, mental manipulation, things like that. This is documented, right? So it's always started by women. So when there's always, you get these panels or arguments, and women are talking about, oh, men are always beating their wives or men are doing this. It's like, okay, sure. However, that the dynamic of violence was most likely always initiated by the women. 2 times.
Of course.
Right, but nobody ever really talks about that until you actually get down and start talking about interpersonal violence and realizing that women initiated. And then when you look at it, you say, okay, well, lesbian couples have the highest rates of domestic violence. Why is that? Because women start the shit more. And then
even speaking to like some lesbian females, like, yeah, bro, they will tell you they dislike women just as much as some dudes. Like they frown a lot of women too. It's because they deal with them on a day-to-day basis. They call women annoying, a headache. It's a lot of shit.
Emotional. They say that bisexual girls will say stuff like, they said the only thing they don't like about men is that men are a bit more what they do like is men are more chill. They're a lot easier to talk to, stuff like that. They don't get butthurt easy, but the consequence of that, I guess, is that they don't care as much. They don't put in as much effort. They're more chill, but they're too chill. That's what I hear women complain about on both sides. They're like, yeah, the men are usually, they're less annoying, but they're too, like with another girl, it's more lovey-dovey. It's
before we continue with these topics, I do want to say that none of us are misogynist. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
Well,
no, sir.
Fuck that. Nah. Continue, JJ. Fuck that. W society. Fuck that. Fuck that.
You want to put a disclaimer? I'm done.
W patriarchy. W patriarchy. We got women locked up in the basement.
I'm just
right
trying to do this stack. I
got them hooked on cocaine.
I would say I love it, but I'm just keeping it.
We got ankle monitors on them. and we're tracking their phones and everything.
Against us.
So I want
No, they do what they gonna use it.
don't believe nothing you're talking about. Y'all, W misogyny.
Don't believe nothing. So listen. So look. So
Now, what's your, hold on. What's
women
your
don't stay like.
What's your controversial take, Bari?
My controversial take actually has to do with dating, and I was gonna say, alright, can men and women have platonic friendships within a relationship? Say like if you're a dude, it's like if you're a dude and you have, and right, if your girl wants to have a guy best friend, are you letting it happen?
I mean,
Well, you go first.
My immediate answer is no. Just simply because what you need a guy best friend for, right? Any male perspective you need, you can talk to me. Or you can, if we're that deep in a relationship, you can talk to my dad. Or you can talk to my uncle. Or you can talk to any of my male cousins. Or you can talk to my sister's husband, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no need for no extracurricular male friends that are not part of the family.
Outside the family,
Yeah,
I get it.
you know,
I get
so
it.
it's like,
You could even talk to your cousins and
yeah,
have conversations
yeah.
with your cousins. Like,
Talk
you know what I
to me,
mean?
you know what I'm saying? So, because I know, unless he's gay, and even I have to see him having sex with men for me to even believe it. Unless he's gay.
Hey yo,
Yeah.
hey yo, prove it. Hey yo, prove it. Hey, no, come on,
Prove it. Wait, prove it.
Unless he's gay.
They do be playing the part, though. They do play the part, man.
So,
They do.
unless he's gay, and I have to see it to believe it, right? Then I might consider it. Like, he got to be like full on long hair, something damn near makeup, heels on some days for me to believe it. Then that's the only way.
He coming like drag queen. Yeah. He coming like drag queen. They gotta be drag.
Because if he's not gay, and I know my girl is good, you're not gonna tell me that you just want to be her friend because she's so fucking interesting. Like, shut up.
Especially because a lot of dudes.
Oh God, yeah, that's funny. That's actually funny.
Especially because a lot of dudes do not have sexual self-control. So when it comes down to it, if he is in a room with her and it's just them, he is not going to be able to control himself sexually. When it comes to if she, bro, and this is where you gotta know your girl, but I'm saying it does happen. I'm not wishing this on nobody, but it do happen. If you're there's been instances where a girl has had a guy best friend and she's gotten under the influence in a place and they were together and he may not have necessarily been under the influence, but she threw herself onto him. And he not going to deny no sex, bro. He's not going to deny no free pussy just because she's your boyfriend. Now, in some cases, he might. But a lot of dudes do not have that sexual self-control. Especially if he believes that, oh, it's going to be kept between me and you. Cool. Like, yeah, he's going to take that down 9 times out of 10. And there's no real way of you knowing that, though. You never really know that. Her and her best friend could have been fucking before you came into the picture, and you never know that.
Facts.
And this shit really does happen in real time.
On top of it, as we know, again, 1 in 3 men are virgins or have had sex in a year. So, I don't know if he gets bitches or not. So,
oh no.
What's going on here? You want to be friends?
If you got women, he wouldn't be hanging with you.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
Exactly.
And that's nerve-wracking as hell for a dude, though, bro. Like, you sitting here, you in a relationship, genuinely trying to take this girl serious. And this is why less and less dudes are taking girls serious that have guy best friends or have a lot of male friends around them. This is why they're taking serious less. Because dudes don't want to have to deal with that. Waking up, oh, damn. Is he texting you? Is he trying to hang out with you? Like, oh, are you giving him attention? Are you texting him these things? A dude don't want to have to deal with that or think about that on a day-to-day basis. That shit is draining. Especially if he's trying to give you the attention, he's trying to work to provide for you and do things for you. It's like, it's a slap in the face. And he doesn't want to run that risk of having another dude in his shit, fucking up things. Like, dudes will try to prevent a relationship from going left as much as they can. But
the problem now
when things are
woman be listening to this like, oh, that's insecure. You're insecure. That's insecurity. You're insecure. I don't want to hear it. You're insecure. That sounds like a you problem. That's a you problem. You're insecure. You're insecure. No, 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 no. No, you're insecure. No. You should trust your woman. You should just trust her. You should know your girl. You're insecure.
The thing with me is that obviously no. But it's not because of cheating, right? Because I don't want to live my life in fear. And I do truly believe that if you are with a girl and you think that she can potentially cheat, you probably shouldn't be with her or be taking her seriously, right? But what I will say is, though, that, still, if I hold the stance of no, is because the thing is, right? Let's say she doesn't cheat. Let's say she goes out with him, or even other female friends doesn't cheat, not a whore, blah blah blah. What people do, people around you, let's say we're mad at each other, they can put things in your head. It's not always just sex. Some dudes don't even want sex from her, right? I mean, they want sex, obviously, but some dudes are actually fully in love. And they don't even think, oh, I can smash it. Like, they don't even want to have sex with her. They want her time and attention. They are in love with this girl, deeply in love with this girl. So their mindset is going to get her, her to hate you as much as possible. Now, obviously, if your girl is solid and she does love you, even when he's hating on her, so she might defend you like, hey, well, don't say that about him. That's not true. Maybe so. But if she's already mad at you, it's like an uphill battle, right? She may do that a little bit, but she may also agree with certain things that, like he may say something. No, that's not true. Don't say that. That's mean. Don't say, okay, I'm sorry, but listen. Remember when he did this to you? Right. Well, yeah, but dang. Well, I guess that is true. Yeah, so you should leave him because blah blah blah. Like, so I wouldn't even entertain a girl.
I ain't gonna lie to that.
Yeah, because with women, and this is very interesting, right? With women's brains, the way it's wired and stuff, when they feel a bad emotion and stuff, like, it's not like us where we just feel sad, whatever. They actually relive the event, right? The part of their brains, like, for the emotions and the memory is, like, directly connected, like the neurons and stuff like that. So when he tells her what you did before, she relives that event almost. So that's why she'll come harder at you or be that's why she's more open to influence, because in a way, she's now in the situation again. The same emotion she felt back then is the same emotion she feels now towards you. So she's not thinking. That's why she always comes back later, babe, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Because she genuinely, like, she probably didn't actually mean it. She probably, again, because the emotions from there are now in her face. My point is, I don't want people around her that are going to influence her to try to break up with me. So not only would I not want her to have male friends, I wouldn't want her to have female friends either. Unless we're like, I wouldn't, listen, I can be your best friend.
Not single best friends. How about that?
Sure, that, you know what? Fair.
Her friends, she got to push her friends to get into relationships.
Of course, but I'm not going to, but also, right? The thing for me is that if a girl has a ton of friends, I'm not going to, if I like the girl, I'll date the girl, but I'm not taking her seriously ever at all. Like, I may pretend, maybe, but never gonna give her a ring, never gonna move forward, nothing like that. We can get super serious, like our family's going to the blah. I ain't gonna give her nothing, because my mindset is always gonna be, you do too much stuff that puts our relationship in jeopardy. And some people say, oh, but you should say it to her, you should tell her how you feel about it. Nope. But it's like, I've already done that before. I've already seen how that ends with myself and other men. I shouldn't, thank you, I should not even have to say anything. So instead, mess with her, play around with her, and then go to some other country, some other place where the culture is solid. The women understand these things naturally. Get one of those women, take one of those women seriously. It's 10 times easier.
Mm-hmm. And for me, I always know when a girl is serious about her relationship when she finally cuts me off, right? Because there'll be so many times I'll be friends with these bitches and they be telling me what's going on, and meanwhile she married, she sent me news and shit. I'm like, and then finally when she finally cuts me off, I'm like, okay, bet, I know she's finally serious in a relationship, so I'm not gonna keep on trying to pursue it. But if she don't cut me off, she still got me on the snap, still got me on the gram, still hit me up. I'm like, okay, bitch, you ain't serious about this, man. I know what time it is.
Mm-hmm. And how about this, right? When the next time I say, oh, but it's about trust. Oh, you're insecure. Listen, I'm not insecure because I do trust her. I trust her to be a woman. Think about it. What I just told you about the whole brain thing, that's a neurological fact. Anybody can look it up. It's how their brains are wired. with the whole memories thing. So no, I am trusting my woman. I'm trusting that woman to be a woman. I'm saying the most traditional woman will do this. The most traditional. It's in their brain. It's all of them. 100%. Period. Until the end of time, it's in every single last woman. So because of this, I'm going to take precaution when, with dealing with her. If she doesn't have these certain traits already, I don't want to have to build a girl to do things like, yeah, it can be fun, but I don't want to do that because the problem is with building it from scratch. There's defects because you didn't build her from scratch. Like her parents built her. If you think about it, all you did was take what they already instilled into her and probably like moved it, shifted it around a little bit. But if it's damaged and it's too deep, you can't fix that. You didn't build it, right? You didn't make her, right? But you came from a family where she got the right tools. It's going to be easy to instill your own values and your own mindset into her. It's going to be very easy, and then she can just follow you around and stuff in the world, and then be loyal, not be a hoe. It's going to be easy, but so yeah. To answer the question. Of course not, no. But I won't even say female friends either, unless they're in a relationship, maybe. But if the dude's like a cuck or something like that, nah. You can't have those female friends either.
So what's your controversial take here, JJ? What's the controversial take here?
On what? On this?
On anything.
Men are better than women, and women know it. Why is it anytime they want to elevate or sound good, they always say, try to say, I make this much money, I make that much money. Who does that sound like? A man, right? Why are you trying to show your value in the man? No man says, oh, this is how I'm going to show my value. Look, you see these women? I have 3 children. I'm married. I wear high heels. I'm pretty. No man says that because we don't care. It's just like another reason why men are better than women, and women know it. Look at who they date. Look at their dating option, right? They literally go for men that are better. They're literally sexually attracted to men that are better than them. Literally. Third reason, anytime you make a joke, like let's say I say, even this, right? Men are better than women, right? Anyone that hears me say that will instantly, their stomach will turn. How can he say that, right? But if I say women are better than men, everyone's like, yay, okay. What I just did was called punching. What I just did was called punching up and punching down. It's something in comedy that they do or whatever. That's where the term comes from. So basically, when you're punching up, it's like if you're making fun of the rich or something, right? That's punching up. If you're making fun of somebody like, somebody that has like only 2 legs and only like 1 arm, that would be punching down. Or they're retarded or something. So because you know that obviously who's higher status, who's higher, whatever. So the fact that women and everyone in general feels a certain way when men say that men are better than women is because everyone knows it's true. We know it's true, but it's terrible. It sounds horrible, not just because of the history and all those, but because we're bigger, we're stronger, we're faster, and I wouldn't say smarter, right? But I'd say we're more logical. Obviously, women have things that are better than men, but the problem in society, there's a problem with them. They don't value those things in the same level because we need women and men to survive. We need female and male traits. These women, and this is the real internalized misogyny that everyone talks about. The women see their own female traits and values so little and minuscule and so irrelevant that when you try to exactly. And they try to be like men. That's real internalized misogyny. Exactly. Or if somebody says, "Oh, you can be a housewife, you can have children. Why don't I want a baby? Oh my gosh, you think all I'm good for is just having a baby?" That's literally the same exact thing as a man saying, "Oh, you think that's the only thing I'm good for is working and making millions?" Oh, they don't value it on the same level, and that's the real internalized misogyny. That's the real internalized misogyny that feminism instilled into them. Feminism basically told them that, they tell them indirectly that men are better than women. Look, if you want to become better as a woman, they tell them all these traits. All the traits are always male traits. How does that make sense? They're always male traits. All they did was rebrand what we already have. So again, obviously, I don't actually think that men are better than women objectively, but I just want to prove a point on the whole, on the whole feelings thing, on the whole dynamic. Right. So yeah, even they think men are better than women. But again, they are attracted to men that are better than them. So to a degree, they think that naturally too. But I don't know. Yeah, that's my controversial take.
Alright. Well, I mean, like, hey, definitely. Sticks, what time you got on here?
What time?
Yeah.
It's 4:30 basically, so 5:30 y'all time, right?
Yeah. Damn, that's damn, I ain't gonna lie. We've been on here for a while. It's been a super good podcast.
But man, so my controversial
Yep.
take, right? So my controversial take is basically that only virgins have the right and privilege to ask for monogamy from men.
Whoa! Okay.
And the reason why I say that,
Okay, that's an it.
hey, and the reason why I
See, look though, I'm gonna be real. A virgin woman will exhibit certain behaviors as to where she won't even have to ask a man to be monogamous. She'll want to be monogamous.
right. And that's and the reason why
Thanks. Let's hear your reasoning on why you say that.
yeah, so the reason I say that is because, right, there's so many women right here. Like I said earlier, you missed it, but I said earlier on the podcast that unless we, actually do what we say we're gonna do, get our passports and marry women from abroad with more traditional values, we're gonna have to contend with the fact that our wives are probably gonna have big hoes at some point in time. They probably sold pictures on OnlyFans. They probably had a whole face and following at work. They probably slept with more than 10
Posting pictures on the club.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have to pretend that our wives have probably been hoes, right? However, the same non-traditional women, they still want a man to be traditional to them, right? They still want a man that can provide and protect, who can take care of all the bills. They still want a man who's gonna be monogamous to them, even though because monogamy is a traditional value, right? But these women are not traditional. One, that they're not even virgins. So that literally just throws that whole monogamy aspect out of the window from the get-go, from the jump. Immediately from the jump, you're not a virgin. Well, you can't demand a man to be monogamous to you in traditional sense because that is traditional, right? So my thing is, so for a woman who has now reached marriageable age, she's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, whatever, and she's a virgin, legitimately, she's the only woman in the world that has the right to demand, or not demand, but has the right to ask and say, hey, I would like if you only slept with me because I've been waiting for you this whole time. Pretty much.
Right. And that's to a dude. I'm not gonna lie. To a dude, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like if she saved herself this long for you, that's a big deal. Like you can't fuck that up.
It's about exclusivity, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So if she's showing off her body and being non-exclusive, right, to everybody else, like it's only fair that, hey, you want to be like that in your past. Well, I'll be like this right now. And ladies, before, because I know that the mindset. Oh, but why does it matter so much? It's just sex. Why does it matter so? Listen. Imagine you have a water bottle, right? And it's not your water bottle, but you're looking at it. You want to? Oh God. Oh. Okay. So imagine you have a water bottle, right? And it's sitting there. It's not your water bottle yet, but you want it maybe in the future. Somebody else picks it up, drinks it, and puts it back down, right? Another person, same shit. Then they offer it to you. How would you feel? Would you feel, oh, a water bottle? No, you feel disgusted. Ew, what's wrong with you? That's how men feel when women sleep around. That's how men feel when you have bodies. But you should change. But why? Shut up. Why? Matters what it is. It matters what it is, period.
Then of course there's going to be women who will list this and be like, oh, well, man has no right to ask for monogamy then. No, because we're different. You still want this man to provide for you in the traditional sense. So if you're not monogamous, right, or you're not a virgin, you're still getting him providing for you, the stability. He's still taking care of all your wants and needs. But hey, you should be open or willing to the fact that hey, you should allow him to have a second wife or fuck bitches on the side. Just hey, it is what it is because you're getting taken care of, right? And he's fulfilling your wants and needs. You should allow him to fulfill his wants and needs, right? Because and then there's certain women who are like, oh well, he should be a virgin too. No, because even virgin women do not want virgin men. Even so,
that goes back to the whole argument that men value experience and women value experience.
Exactly, right?
Men value inexperience and women value experience.
So it's just, and then when you bring up the statistics, I think it's like 70% of women have never had an orgasm, right? So it's like, do you, you know what I'm saying, you want to reach your, this is another controversial take, right? The female orgasm has no benefit to society whatsoever. And it's really just women being selfish, but that's another topic.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
No,
I get that. I get why you say that. I get why you say that. It's because like them having an orgasm doesn't.
It doesn't do shit.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it
create
doesn't
life.
matter if they have an orgasm or not. It only matters if the male is able to shoot his load so he can reproduce and procreate. I feel you. I get what you're saying.
I guess I still, want to give my girl whatever, but I understand. I agree with you. No. I'd still want to do it just because, but
I ain't gonna lie. So it's like,
I'm all about having my girl reach her hoe, but when you really think about it, women complaining about never orgasm, it's like, it's cool, I understand, but society's gonna progress along just fine.
Now, if we never orgasm, it'll be different. It'll be like, whoa, 70%. Whoa.
Something's wrong, right?
Yeah. But nah, I think like for a girl that's listening, I mean, we should do like give an actual advice on the next podcast, something like to a woman that actually wants a man. I think the best advice is just be around men that you like to be with. I guess get to know them, I guess, and just don't be a hoe. Like it's so easy. It's weird.
Don't be a hoe. That's pretty much it.
Just don't be a hoe.
I said this, yo, Jay. Nah, I said that to a girl. Actually, I think it was in a conversation we were having yesterday. I think I actually said that. I was like, it's so easy for a woman to get a man that, or to make a man be monogamous, or to really take you serious. It's easy for that to happen. You know what I mean? But it's only difficult because they don't know how. They don't know what to do or what they're doing wrong that makes men back away from them or put them in a certain category. But I said it's very easy, because men are simple on a very like basic level. Men are simple. They don't really want way too much. They don't really usually ask for way too much. It's usually base level shit. You know what I mean? And I feel like like girls will overcomplicate it to the extent of, oh, does he want this? Does he want that? Does he want this? Does he want that? But more so, it's just like it's only a few things you have to do to really have a man feel comfortable around you, or for him to grant you that access to the relationship.
You know what, Jabari? Like I said, don't be a hoe, but also, bro, like, don't act like one, or don't be annoying. Don't be too like. If the man tells you he doesn't like something, don't do it. It's like, like, bro, y'all say stuff like this and wonder why. But you know what? If it's any women around like my age or Jabari's age, not gonna care. They ain't gonna listen because they got all the options. Well, they think they have all these options. They can be like, well,
they're like 20s, like the 20s to, like, because we're in our 20s. I would say like from 18 like it's just it's 18 to like 30. 30.
Of course, there are a few gems that might listen. A few gems I might, whatever. But yeah, they ain't gonna listen to us because they see, they're in it. So, and you know what? I guess that's the slight arrogance of men, thinking that we know everything. And I'll even throw the bones to ladies on that one, right? Maybe it's not that easy, right? Maybe we are being a bit arrogant in the fact that we're men and we're not in the dating market dating men. But at the same time, though, you can't tell me as a man that it's anywhere near as difficult to get women. You can't.
No. I'm not giving no concession. It's super easy. What are you talking about? What? If Lizzo can find somebody, if Mama June can find somebody, like, what are you talking about? Nah. If Ricky Lake can find somebody, nah.
I'll say this. I'll say this: proximity. That's the only thing. Because if a girl's broke and she can't be around the man, she's probably not gonna get him. You see what I'm saying? And if she does post herself, he'll think she's a hoe.
No,
you see what I'm like? Think about it.
Even if she's broke, bro. Like, come on, be fucking for real. Like,
I mean, this is.
All you gotta do is just get on Instagram and get in the white background and make yourself look decent. You have to.
But I'll say this.
There's people that there's men that go after crackheads. What are we talking about?
But let me no. But a girl, if you want to get taken seriously as a girl, you don't want to do. If you posting pictures on Instagram, let's say you're posting like kind of sexy photos, some dudes are very extreme. They ho instantly, ho slut, ho. That's how That's how guys think. Like guys we're very split second. Like we don't spend too much time. Oh, she's a slut, she's a whore. So like I said,
because Instagram is the biggest dating platform or website you can think of. But there's pictures you can post on Instagram and not be seen as a whore, right? You don't have like.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The only way a man can truly sexualize a woman is if she sexualizes herself first, right? I.e., she's wearing like a low crop top, like, right, or right, or posting stuff like that. Right. But there's pictures you can post on Instagram, then you're not going to be considered or looked at as a whore, right? Like there's just one chick, she was definitely a whore, but I'm not gonna get into that. But her Instagram pictures are not like that. You would never know. But I know. But I know she's but she goes diving, so she's always posting pictures of her in her dive gear or underwater. She travels a lot, and so she's posting pictures and like she's mainly a diver and a dive instructor, so she always posting like some underwater
right.
Right. So,
and you can even post pictures that are like, you know what I mean, you being dressed up, dolled up. Like you can even post pictures like that and they be cute and you're not necessarily labeled as like a hoe. Yeah. Now, there is a thing that does happen where a guy may be over sexualizing things due to certain things that he does. And this is why a lot of dudes, a lot of masculine males, they frown upon the porn industry in general because it allows men to, one, waste time, waste energy, and it also it psychologically makes them over sexualize things that don't normally get sexualized. Like they'll start to look at certain things and be like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like the adrenals start to operate a little different.
Right. Like the like if you're a delivery guy for pizza and all of a sudden you're gonna run into a hot mom who wants to smash.
Right, like yeah, like shit like that. Like you know what I mean? It'll take reality and start mixing it with the delusion for you. Like
even though that does happen.
It does. It's like yeah, but that does happen.
I know that happens.
In social spaces.
But yeah, gentlemen, I appreciate your time. We're gonna go ahead and end the podcast here. Bari already introduced herself, but JJ, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Tell them where they can find you. It's gonna be below in the description, but go ahead and let them know again.
What's up? JJ Max. You know, I say controversial stuff. I have I'm on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok. Maybe even join my Discord if you really want to date me or something. Like you said, link in description. Yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen,
about it.
Once again, it's your boy Prince OG. This is the 5 Sticks Podcast. Appreciate your time. You can find me on YouTube, 5 STI triple X. On Rumble, same thing, number 5 STI triple X. Also on TikTok, and then my other TikTok accounts at Prince OG, where you can find me pissing off feminists and getting banned consistently. Okay, join the Discord and stay tuned for our next podcast. Y'all stay blessed. Alright, y'all gotta go, but I'm just gonna stop recording.